Hi everyone, I'm Vula Dionysiou from Skynet, and today I'll talk about Webview's new V11 features. So you can see I've brought up the login screen, Webview's login screen, and I'm gonna log in. And first I'll talk about multiple pages. You'll see that Webview starts up. If you haven't set a start page from DataHub settings, Webview's DataHub settings, what you'll get when logging in is design mode and a blank empty screen with no title. So let me just close that because we won't need it for now, and let me try opening a few pages from the Page Explorer. I'll start with our start page, which contains several hyperlinks to other demo pages. And let me just open a few more pages from the Page Explorer. You can either double click on the page title and the page will load, or you can right click and select Open Page. If a page is already open and I double click on an item from the grid, then it will simply select the page and bring it to focus. So now going into run mode, you'll see that if I click on the page index on the button that's called page index, this will simply focus the start page. And when a page is already open and there is a tab open for a page, and then trying to open a page by clicking on a hyperlink will not cause a page reload. It will just simply focus the tab. So now in run mode, you won't get tabs, but that's what happens behind the scenes. A new entity that we've introduced in V11 is called Solutions. So now with V11, we offer the option to a user to organize pages into solutions, and that gives the possibility to load a solution and all the pages it contains and start Webview when starting Webview in run mode. So let me show you how this works. You'll see that there is a context menu when right-clicking on a page tab, and one of the options is Add Page to Solution. So let me click on that, and then go to the Solution Explorer, the Solution Properties Explorer down here, and open up the Solution Pages list. So you'll see that the page that I've just added is in this list, and the auto load option is not selected. Let me just go and add a few more pages to the solution and a few more pages to the page tabs. That's enough. So let me just add the final page to the page list, the solutions page list, and I'm just now gonna select which pages I want to auto load when the solution opens. And I'm gonna only include these three. I'm gonna leave circular gauges off, and there is also the option of reorganizing the pages in this list, and this means that the page that is first will load first. So this is the order in which the pages will load when opening up the solution. Let us go with the start page first. So now I can go and give my solution a few more properties, like a name, and then I can go and select the file name and save my solution. So now I've saved the solution, and you can see that this solution is now a part of the Page Explorer down here. What I can do now is I can close all the pages and test if what I've done works. So clicking this will have to load the pages that I've selected as auto load in my solution. And you can see that the pages are created. They're created as separate page tabs. They haven't been loaded yet to save resources, but if I click on the page tab, that tab will load. And as you can see, I've only got 3 page tabs. The final one, circular gauges page, hasn't been loaded because I haven't selected it as auto load. So let me now close Webview and go to DataHub settings. and see how I can start Webview in solution mode, basically. Let's click on the Start and Run Mode button, checkbox, and then try to find in this list my solution, the solution that I just created. Here it is, my test solution. And now if I apply and launch Webview, I should start in run mode and my solution should start loading pages. I have to log in first. You can see that there is a progress bar down here showing you progress, and Webview is now loading pages one by one. And when every page has loaded successfully, you'll get the first page on that list. So now we got our start page. And if I now start clicking on hyperlinks here of the pages that I've already added to my solution, they have already been loaded, you'll see that there is no load time. The simple page shows up. So if I go to the pages that I know they have been loaded, this is the behavior I get. But if I click on the circular gauges hyperlink, you'll see that the page will load simply because there is no tab here. So clicking on circular gauges will load the page for me, and now the page has been loaded, and there is nothing more I need to do. There are extra properties that we've added to a solution, and they are related to page management. So having many pages loaded at once at the same time in your Webview instance can consume a lot of resources from your computer. So you can have as many pages open as you want, but there is an extra level of complexity that we've added so that page management is performed and resources are released for pages that you don't visit as often or for heavy pages. So you can see here that you can set several properties to handle that performance and how it behaves. And we have added an activity minutes setting, which means basically that after a predefined number of inactivity minutes that you define, that you set, a page will be retired so that resources are not consumed for pages that you haven't visited for that amount of time. By default, that period of time is set to 10 minutes, and you can change those settings to whatever settings meet your specific needs. There is also another setting here that affects the number of pages that are loaded in memory at once. So, for example, this number is by default 5. And what that means is that if I load 5 pages at the same time in my solution, when I load the 6th page, that means that one of the pages previously open will get retired. And unless I've made some changes to the page that haven't been saved, those pages will never be retired. And unless I've increased this number of pages in memory, then pages will start getting retired when I reach that threshold. And also there is another threshold of controls on a page, which we check, and a memory usage threshold of 500 megabytes. So all these settings are taken into account when trying to save resources and retire those pages that are either old, haven't been visited in a certain amount of time, are very heavy and consume a lot of resources, or have reached a memory threshold. You can simply leave those settings as they are. You don't really need to change any of those settings. Or if you find that you have extra resources that you can use for Webview, then you can increase those settings or you can reduce them to whatever settings meet your specific needs. The final thing I'm going to be talking about in this video is an advanced feature of selecting controls on a page. So basically, the obvious way and the way that we've used in previous Webview versions is by clicking on controls on the canvas. That will select controls. If you want to select multiple controls on a canvas, you can hit on the control button and you'll see that multiple controls are then selected. But we've added a new way to actually search for controls in Webview. And there is an extra tab in the properties area here that you can open up, and it's called the Page Elements tab. So if I go and open that tab up, you'll see that there is a list of every control in the focused page. So groups appear as nested trees. And so, for example, if I go to that group and I select it, it's going to get selected in the Page Elements tab 2. And I can expand on that and select specific grouped elements inside the group. This also means that if I click on an element, I'm also going to get its properties here. So by selecting an element from the Page Elements tab, will also give me the properties in the Properties data grid, so that I don't really have to go look for controls in the canvas manually. There are two ways to display controls in these Page Element tabs. The first one, as we've seen, is a tree for a hierarchical view, and there is this flat list of controls which can be searched and filtered. So basically, if I want to search through my text labels, I'm simply going to type text label in the filter box, and this is going to give me a list of all my controls named text labels. So basically, if you give meaningful names to your controls, then it will be easier for you to search for them in this list view. And I can also select multiple controls by either clicking on the control tab and the control key or the shift key from my keyboard. So that's it for me. That's all for solutions, multiple page tabs, and how we select multiple controls in an advanced way using the page element tabs. Thanks, and bye for now.